Neopopco Studios in Oklahoma City. This is an OSU update. I'm Jenni Carlson. The Cowboy basketball team went to Iowa State, lost a heartbreaker midweek. We've got John Helsley on the phone. And John, this was a game obviously disappointing for the Cowboys in the outcome, but a lot of positives. What did you see in this game, the Iowa State game the Cowboys played?
Well, Jenni, I'm like you. I thought there were a lot of positives there. Obviously, getting a win out of there would have put the big stamp on top of that. But, you know, there was a move of Markel Brown to the point. He played really well in that role, 11 assists, 1 turnover. It was a big turnover at the end, but overall played well. You know, Mark Suchek comes off the bench, gets a couple of buckets for him, does some good things. Michael Cobbins continues to show that his game is kind of developing and advancing. And so, you know, put themselves in position to win, just couldn't quite get the door closed. The bank-in three-pointer by Iowa State at the end beats them.
You talk about that move, Markel Brown to the point guard position. There was such a wealth of point guards when the season began. Obviously, the Cowboys now looking for an answer. But if he continues to play somewhere in the ballpark of what he did against Iowa State, what does that do for the Cowboys? How does that change the complexion of what they can do offensively and defensively?
Well, he's a little bit, obviously, a different matchup than Keaton Page is for other teams. He's bigger. He's more explosive going to the hole, so he demands a little bit more attention. It frees up Keaton Page then to kind of go back to that two-guard role where he can fight and off screens and maybe get some more shots. He played well last night. Keaton did. Brian Nash played well last night, getting a lot of assists from Markel Brown. So what I think that does is it just opens the floor a little bit more and allows maybe even for a little bit better movement and ball movement.
Yeah, obviously the disappointment of the loss, but played so well after not playing well against Baylor. Now they face a home game against Kansas State, a Kansas State team that went to OU and lost. How does this matchup suit the Cowboys? Can they get back on the winning track on Saturday?
Well, if you go by what we saw last night, I think so. You know, Kansas State is a team that's pretty talented. But like you say, you know, they lost at Oklahoma. They've lost 3 games in the league. Had a close win last night over a Texas team that's rebuilding. So I think it's a good time for the Cowboys to get back home. They've been on the road for a short stretch here, get home in front of Gallagher crowd and try and get going again. And I think that if they can build off what they did at Iowa State, they have a pretty good chance of pulling off the upset.
All right. Thanks, John. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.